Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia, the Flats. Bobby Dodd Stadium, home of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and the Ramblin' Wreck, hoping to rev up that engine. The Yellow Jackets will put toe to leather and will get started. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Georgia's offense will get the first possession of the game. There will be some clean, old-fashioned hate on display in this one, guys.
Yeah, how cool is that, by the way? That's the name of the rivalry. When it comes up, clean, old-fashioned hate. You think they like each other? Absolutely not. Bragging rights all through the state of Georgia.
Line gets set, first down. They'll try the run. And he's got enough for the first down. It'll be at the 35. And those hairy dogs taking a bite out of another first down.
You don't usually find Georgia teams that complicate things. They know who they are, and it starts with running the football, establishing the line of scrimmage. That's what the dogs do.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Right back to him on the ground. A strong tackle and wrap-up from the junior. The dogs picked up their hearts and stuffed them right back into their chest and pulled out a close one last time.
Yeah, definitely a lot of Georgia fans breathing a sigh of relief. A lot of success against the Yellow Jackets in this rivalry. They did not want to lose that one. Interesting to see now how the Yellow Jackets come out today.
He just needed a yard on third down, and there just wasn't any room to pick it up. They told us they were going to be aggressive no matter where they were on the field. Didn't take long to prove it. Going for it on fourth down in their first drive.
How about that call? You're right around midfield, fourth down on your opening drive, so you run the football and you put your trust and confidence in your offensive line up front to get it done and keep your offense on the field. That is impressive.
Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
The Ramblin' Wreck and the Dogs have been fighting it out for a long time. You know, people forget Georgia Tech is a charter member of the SEC. That was a long time ago. First meeting back in 1893.
Yeah, and reportedly they wanted to join the SEC later, and Georgia said no. But how about
running toward the tape? And he'll take this into the end zone, but hang on just a second. Flag down. Let's see what this is about. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. Second down coming up. They'll run it out of the shotgun. It has been a season to forget, and honesty compels us to say changes are probably coming.
I'm not sure, but I think Reese Davis just fired a coach. Is that what I heard? I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. Listen, hasn't gone well. You've heard the outside noise, continuing to get louder and louder, haven't met expectations. And this is the business we live in college sports, when you get paid a lot of money to do a job and you don't perform.
Listen, at the end of the day, results oriented. They've lost football games this year, and so all signs right now pointing to them potentially making that change before next season. If they're going to stay competitive and they're going to field the best team and program possible heading into next year, then it looks as though a change is inevitable here.
On fourth down, looking to pass. Hit as he throws. And it's incomplete, and the defense holds. So the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets offense will go to work for the first time today. When you have a weapon like this on the outside and a guy in the secondary whose job is to take everything away, it's going to be a great matchup, guys.
It's so fun to see how you attack great safeties in the middle of the field. Are you willing to do that, or are you going to try to live on the perimeter? This offensive matchup will be great.
Yeah, normally you'd say receiver versus safety, the receiver's going to win. This safety, though, has got the speed to run with this guy, and he's going to make it interesting back there.
Now they'll try to cash in this drive. 1st and 10 from the 50. They'll give it to him again. And the defense snows him under after a very short gain.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
I think you run that play so you stay out of 3rd and long. 3rd and long is not where an offense ever wants to thrive. 3rd and medium, hey, I'm good with that. So you run that play to make sure you're set up for a good 3rd down.
Looking to pick up a 1st down on 3rd and short from the 43. Quickly complete. He steps out of bounds, but he's got a 1st down on the play.
Well, that play was designed for that down and distance, right? You saw how he barely got enough to pick up the 1st. Really nice job by the play caller there, understanding the situation of what play to dial up.
The pull and throw off the RPO.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this offense was going to try and get this receiver involved and get him involved early. So here they are just finding an easy completion. It's not a touchdown, but they just want to get this guy lathered up and get him into a run.
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33. If there's ever been a position group that sort of identifies with the team's mascot, it would be the bulldog mentality of this Georgia front.
Those hunkering down dogs up front, they got to hunker down and stop the run and be physical. And then guess what? It gets into passing situations. Now I'm quick. Now I'm on the edge. Now I'm making that quarterback's life a living you-know-what.
To the air, it's Hamilton. He's got his man. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback, finding his open receiver on 3rd down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is 3rd down conversion percentage. If you're a great 3rd down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and that's why teams drill 3rd down so much in practice.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Out of the gun, they give to the back. And after the tackle, we are headed to the end of the 1st quarter. Here comes a 3rd down situation, and the defense hasn't been able to slow them down. From the gun, wants to pass. Buys a little time with his feet. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Georgia Tech! And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing it at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on 4th down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but, Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field, and they got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive moving forward in this game.
Tried to pound it on 1st down, now back to the line. On 2nd down, wants to throw. Nowhere to go, and the ball's loose. Picks up the ball and tries to make something of it.
Man, those are so frustrating when you're a defense and you swarm to the football and you stick the quarterback and you make him cough it up just to have the other team recover it again and you don't get it. Still a good stick, still a good physical play. Keep hitting that quarterback.
And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Quarterback gets past the marker. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks. Georgia coming out with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Unloads to the wideout. Fires and picked off. Trying to take it back. He's at the 40. The 20. And he's going to take it all the way back. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Look, a lot of time left. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the scoreboard.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's coming and what routes to be ready for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so beautiful.
From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. And the returner is stopped. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Just a simple power play, power football. Be strong, be big, be physical. Make it a fourth-quarter game. Make them feel you, keep them off balance.
Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. Gonna take a shot. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
And he gets it up to the 36. It'll be a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
Well, how's that for being aggressive? Early in the game, 4th down in your own territory, and you go for it.
And the ball is intercepted. Bringing it back. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Hamilton. They're trying to get to him. And he avoids the hit and slides after the short gain.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. And the Yellow Jackets will try to pin them back with the punt. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. They've stumbled a little bit out of the gate here, Jesse, finding themselves down by 2 scores.
Yeah, and their defense needs to help them out and get off.
Time to take a shot. And that'll be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter on 1st down, but 2nd down's coming up. Bunch formation trying to spring a guy free. From the gun, running back on the move. That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets them up to the 24. A 3rd down try for the offense. They'll keep it on the ground. Shows him the stiff arm. And the defense had his hands full, but they finally wrestle him down short of the 1st down. And now about this lower intestinal fortitude. 4th and 1 in your own territory, and they're going. He's got it, and they convert. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on 4th down. They'll put it in play from the 41 on 1st down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads to the right. Oh, did he find a hole in the defense? And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. He'll just keep slinging it. Safe completion on the screen. Spins away from the defense. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game. But when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. Less than a yard to go for a 1st down, and the offense will remain on the field. Quarterback checking the play. On 4th down, trying to find his man. Makes the catch past the sticks. Touchdown, Dogs! That is the ultimate grab and go for the score.
And what a nice start for this offense. The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
So they got the touchdown, and as they kick off, really important for the defense to shut them down here. Here he comes out of the end zone. Just keeps moving. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. The Georgia Tech offense rolls back onto the field. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And, David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
No, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Looking downfield, it's Hamilton.
What a nice job getting to the quarterback, getting the big sack, making sure he didn't have time to buy some more space, and he almost grabbed him and pulled him into the end zone. He almost got 2 points and a safety.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. They've been able to put together nothing. Now 3rd and long from their own 1. Couldn't find any way to get out of the end zone, and they get him for a safety.
You could tell the defense smelled it. They knew exactly where they were on the field, put the pressure on him, got him down in the end zone. Safety, baby.
The returner is tackled down at the 37, and the Georgia offense will take over.
We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. This is a game of swings and momentum, and a great opportunity here after scoring on the last drive, getting a stop, and now you have the football back.
They're playing well right now in all 3 phases, and they're complementing each other. So now, David...
And that is interception number 3 on the day. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Nice read, nice break. Good job by the defender understanding that ball had some air underneath it, takes advantage of it, goes and makes the big run.
This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Finds a tight end. The offense will quickly use the timeout.
It must be nice for this quarterback knowing he's got this type of athlete playing the tight end position. That can work the middle of the field for him. He's a guy who can stretch it vertically as well, but this is a guy the QB will look for early and often in this game.
Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss. The incompletion brings us to 2nd and 10. To the air, it's Hamilton trying to get to him. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. From the gun, running back gets to give. Picks up just a few before he's brought down, not really willing to take a risk there on 3rd and long. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half, maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. 4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. And that one will bounce and roll out of bounds. Let's see exactly where they mark it. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Going up top on 1st down. Gets it out fast. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Gentlemen, from Athens to Atlanta, there are some edgy folks and emotional fan bases in this always contentious battle between the Dogs and Yellow Jackets.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Georgia Tech has the ball back, and here comes the Yellow Jacket offense. They go to work in the 3rd quarter with the lead, but they have had a little trouble keeping their quarterback upright.
Yeah, and you have the lead, you're positive, but the offensive line coach is definitely going to be upset. And the offensive coordinator, listen, I don't want my guy getting touched. He's being productive, but give him some more time here in the second half.
I think you can do that, too, offensively, by maybe leaving your tight end in to help block, maybe chipping with running backs to help these tackles out on the edge, because you're right, that pocket has been shaky, and if it continues to be that way in the second half, this could be a much different-looking football game.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He's going to run it. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play. The Yellow Jackets send out the punt unit.
Offense facing 4th down.
He gets a block. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. He's going to pass. Unloads it left. Makes a connection. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one. The Dogs have had a long history of scrappy and efficient quarterbacks. Add a little star power to it, and you've got something working.
You definitely get a little extra something. We see it all across college football. You find that dude at the quarterback spot. It takes you from good to great. And you've seen that with Georgia over the last several seasons.
And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. Georgia going up tempo. In the gun and looking to throw on 3rd down. Fires to the big fella. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a 1st down. Fresh set of downs after the completion. They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. And the ball's out, and they're after it. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing and you've got guys swiping at it, you've got to have 2 hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job with ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
They make the stop, not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. Kept it on the ground last time. Let's see if they go back to it on second down. Looking to throw, it's Hamilton. The sweet feet buy a little time. And he tries to get away, but he cannot. He's taken down. He'll lose a couple. This pressure from the defensive front is overwhelming, much like when three-time All-American David Pollock played on the Georgia defensive front. Whatever happened to that guy?
A washed-up old guy. I've heard of bad things about that guy. But no, when you look at these defenses Georgia's had, these dominant defenses, man, it's just big, physical guys up front. You think about the Jordan Davises and the Trayvon Walkers of the recent past, just guys that dominate a football game. You have to know where they're at on every snap.
He's got great speed. He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. When you're playing from behind, you can't afford to give it up the way they did the last drive, David.
No doubt, you cannot.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And giving up 3 sacks a week ago. Now you've already given up 4 sacks. They got to find a way to protect their quarterback. Give him a little bit more time.
Now the offense has to overcome the negative play after the defense comes up with a sack. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Listen, in these situations, it's so hard to push the ball down the field because the defense is playing pass. We bring in more DBs. We're dropping deeper in our coverage, and we're making you throw the ball underneath or run the football. Nice job by the running back. Listen, he got good yards. He didn't get the first down, but now he's in a situation where third down becomes something where it's not predictable. Now it's a situation where they can go out and have success.
Motion from the offense. Off play action on first down. They're bringing heat. The freshman able to get home with the sack.
And there's no mystery as to why this team's losing today. They've given up 5 sacks. They cannot keep their quarterback upright. And you just saw another example of it right there. He has never been able to get into rhythm throwing the football.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, I love the aggressive nature of the defense on that play. Everybody playing with high discipline. They saw the pre-snap motion. They knew who had the football. And you saw guys playing with excellent instinct, running down the hill and making a tackle.
On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And the quarterback is snowed under. He is a menace rushing the passer. Career sack number 20.
I mean, some people just have a knack for getting to the quarterback. What a great job throughout his career. Getting there, getting him down, getting pressures. He has been a quarterback's worst nightmare.
I was just going to say, David, you don't sleep well as a quarterback the night before you have to play against this guy because he is going to sack you. That is a guarantee. Death, taxes, and sacks for that guy.
Complete to start this drive. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands. Get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Quick strike complete. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
And we see another catch by this guy. This defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're able to drag him down to the...
Oh, look out! There he goes! Touchdown! Georgia Tech! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
When you have so many playmakers on offense like they do, they can score quickly. You just saw it right there.
And the extra point is good. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, Dave. And I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
Couldn't find anybody to throw to. He'll just toss it away. It'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. He's looking for an open man on second down. Going for the big play. Working that deep right side. An excellent concentration on the catch. Offense threatening at the 45-yard line on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. And he was able to push forward for a solid gain as the clock strikes 0 here in the 3rd. Guys, we've reached the end of the quarter, and Georgia Tech has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Dumps it to the back. Finds his target down the middle. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 for the first down. The Bulldogs are on the move. Trying to find his man on first down. Setting up the screen. He makes the stop, but a nice pickup there on first down. Leaves him in second and manageable.
Yeah, and I think you've just seen how the quarterback has so much confidence in this guy catching the ball too, right? Receivers aren't open, tight ends aren't open. He knows he can find him running out of the backfield, or if he lines up at wide receiver, this dude can get open, and he can make positive things happen after he has the ball.
And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the first down. And the Dogs come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw it again. Good timing on the quick out. That completion will take them inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Nothing's working right now in the pass game for this guy. This is the nightmare scenario. He's already been picked off 3 times. That one got swatted away. Lucky it wasn't another interception. This quarterback is not playing with a ton of confidence.
And it's picked off for the 4th time today. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
It doesn't get any better from our defense. You know exactly the situation in the 4th quarter. Everything in your favor. Don't let them make big plays. How about you make a big play? Nice job getting the interception. It's not icing on the cake yet, but it's getting pretty close.
Just a savvy, veteran, productive run from this junior. Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. Got his man downfield. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. Whole situation changed after that last big play. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 39. Using that running game to bludgeon forward. He's got 4 down to the 35. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain. A nice way to go into the postseason and eventually the offseason with a W, but the question is, will it be enough to keep the Wolves at bay?
It's a great way to punctuate the season. You just have to wonder, though, if there were too many L's on the schedule to keep this guy around next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole body of work, right? You finish strong, but what does everybody look at? Like, how many games do you win? Who do you beat is important, right? Do you beat your rivals? Like, there's so much more. Do you have the team's ear still? So there's a lot that goes into decision-making, but it was definitely a disappointing season.
It's a fake, going for the stick. And they're not going to pick up the first down on the fake field goal. Boy, you look smart when it works out, but when it goes awry, you are left to second-guess yourself. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
Yep.
He's got it downfield for a huge gain. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. He'll try to tack on one more. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. That's the kind of drive everybody loves. So see, quarterback, one snap, put it in the end zone. Just over a minute to go, and if they have a chance, they've got to come up with this onside kick. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done. The Rambling Wreck offense rolls back onto the field. These are the games. These are the moments. This is the opportunity for the finish that people remember in rivalries like this one.
And those highlights that are shown for years and years to come. These big-time moments, Palmer, coming down to the wire, who steps up and makes the big-time play.
And this is why you lift the weights in the offseason. This is why you do all the gassers and all the sprints. For moments like this, game on the line in one of the biggest games of the year.
He got a bunch and looked close to getting a lot more, but he's got the first down. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation. Looks like the offense will just take a knee. They say every game counts the same in the standings, and that is